Section 4, Video 2. Perpendicular bisector theorem. Now, if you remember, we talked about a perpendicular bisector being a line that would cut an angle in half, or excuse me, cut a segment in half, but at the same time create a right angle, being a perpendicular bisector. But we also said that it was interesting, but the line itself did not have to come from a vertex. So it does not come from this vertex, it's just out here somewhere. So it just has to be a line that intersects a side of a triangle, creating a right angle and bisecting it. Now this property, or this theorem, goes into the idea that what if the perpendicular bisector actually comes from a vertex? So what are some properties? Well, if we take a segment, AB, and we create a perpendicular bisector, so it cuts it in half, and a right angle, and we say that the third point of this triangle, so let's say that this is one side of the triangle, and we're going to take the vertex of the third vertex of this triangle and put it on that perpendicular bisector, we have some interesting things happen. When that third point, point C, is on the perpendicular bisector and we create this triangle, we can say a couple things. That these two lengths are equal. In other words, they call it equidistant from the endpoints of the segment. And then it bisects, this perpendicular bisector bisects that angle. Now that means that if I pick another point somewhere, on any, it could be above the line or below the segment, and then make that triangle, we'll call that point D, the same property exists. That side of the triangle and this side of the triangle are equal in measurement. So we basically created an isosceles triangle. And then again, this angle was cut in half by that perpendicular bisector. So this picture we have right here states what I just said. And the properties would be that the blue lines would be equal in measurement, the red lines would be equal in measurement, and the green lines would be equal in measurement because the vertex is on the perpendicular bisector, as well as these angles were bisected. So I'm just trying to make all the indicators different. So one arc, two arcs, three arcs, one tick mark, two tick marks, and three tick marks. So very valuable properties or in characteristics when we know that our points are on the perpendicular bisectors. And this ends section 4, video 2.